Hi everybody, Dan Bailey here with some more Fujifilm fun for you. Did you ever notice that the word Fuji and fun begin with the same two letters? I know I haven't been super active in the last month here on YouTube. Hey, it's summertime in Alaska. I've been out enjoying the sunshine, riding my bike, racing. Yeah, just soaking in these long days that we have because they don't last forever. Anyway, before we get started, I just want to say thanks for your support. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please do so and ring the bell so you'll be notified whenever I post a new video. And don't forget to leave a comment. It's great to hear from you guys, answer your questions, get feedback, and even just get to know you guys as well. So I've been pretty curious about Fujifilm's new 70-300mm lens. After all, I've been a fan of the 55-200 for years. It offers a nice long focal length, good image quality, great stabilization. It's not very big and not very heavy, and it's a decent price as well. Fuji's new 70-300 expands on this with a very similar build, but with a longer focal length zoom, weather sealing, and compatibility with Fuji's two teleconverters. It also has an even more capable OIS image stabilization system. It's 5.5 stops versus the 4.5 stops which the 55-200 has. And it's engaged all the time. The 55-200 had a switch to turn it on or off. I've been so impressed at how low I can handhold the 55-200 even when zoomed all the way out and still get sharp images. And so with basically 8 years of newer technology that's put into the 70-300, the stabilization has improved even further. So for comparison, here's the 55-200 and here's the 70-300. The 70-300 is only about 1/2 inch longer and wider than the 55-200 and only 8 grams heavier. So they're very, very close in size. So in 35mm terms, the 70-300 effectively gives you a lens with a focal length that zooms from about 107mm to 457mm. Now that's pretty impressive on its own, but when you combine it with a 1.4x teleconverter, your range becomes the equivalent of 147mm to 630mm. So it's like carrying a 150 to 600mm lens, but most of those are pretty heavy. And when you use the 2x teleconverter, your range goes out to 800mm on the long end. And that truly is amazing when you consider the compact size and nature of this lens. But the important question is, how does it look? How are the images? So the first thing I did with the 70-300 is take it out to my garden, which is in full bloom right now. I was really pleased with the weight and feel on the body. It's not very heavy. It balances quite nicely. It doesn't feel exceptionally long. It's way smaller and lighter than the 100-400 by comparison. But to me, the most amazing thing about this lens is that it has a minimum focusing distance of only 32 inches. This essentially gives you a 1:3 magnification ratio, which makes the 70-300 an amazing lens for shooting close-ups and macro. So I spent the next half hour shooting zinnias, poppies, Mexican sunflowers, and the flurry of honeybees that are crawling all over the huge mat of thyme we have in our front yard. So the first few photos I shot were straight, with the lens zoomed all the way out to 300mm. And I was pretty impressed. Then I put the 1.4x teleconverter on, and things got even more interesting. The close-up capabilities are even more magnified, with even longer lens compression and shallow backgrounds. Even at full zoom with a 1.4x, the focus was precise and incredibly accurate, and the image quality was absolutely stunning. I was blown away by what I saw through this lens. I guess that 9 years into the X series and over 50 years making lenses, Fujifilm's got this stuff down. So the next day I threw it in my lightweight camera pack and I went on an all-day mountain bike ride. Like 55 miles, 4,000 feet of climbing, with my X-T4 and the 70-300 in the back. Hardly even noticed it was there, but when I needed it, I had it. And this shows that even with its long range, it's light enough and compact enough to make a great travel and outdoor lens. You could backpack with this lens, take it overseas, and you wouldn't feel encumbered. The 70-300 is built with 17 elements in 12 groups, with 2 extra low dispersion elements to control fringing and chromatic aberration, and 1 aspherical element to control distortion. It has a 9-bladed aperture. Now compared to the 55-200, which has a 7-bladed aperture. That means the 70-300 gives you even more creamy out-of-focus backgrounds and more pleasing shallow focus effects. Now I really love the 55-200, but if I have to say there's one limitation, It's how it renders the slightly out of focus stuff in the background. To my eyes, the 70-300 handles this a little bit better. Those slightly out of focus backgrounds look a little less busy, and when you're shooting really far away, subjects are even sharper at greater distances. It's not a huge difference. The 55-200 is still an amazing lens. It still holds up, but I think the optical quality of the 70-300 just a little bit better. Honestly, before I got this lens, I didn't know what to expect. I knew I'd like it, but I didn't know that I'd love it so much. I'm absolutely blown away by the quality of the images that come out of this lens. The stabilization is amazing. It has fast focus, and it's weather sealed. I would have no qualms about shooting a professional job with this lens, even if it involves shooting fast action. The autofocus is definitely capable. 10 or 15 years ago, budget zoom lenses weren't as awesome as the pro counterparts. But with today's optical technology and the fact that modern lenses are designed to specifically match and maximize the performance of the camera sensors, and the result is a lens like the 70-300, which gives you an incredible long zoom range, very fast autofocus, and image quality that will blow you away. So in my mind, this lens is another home run for Fujifilm. It hits all the important benchmarks. It's razor sharp, it has fast autofocus, great stabilization, it doesn't weigh very much, and it's not exceedingly expensive. And you can use it with your Fuji teleconverters to expand the range even more. Seriously, this thing is like long lens heaven wrapped up in a compact little bundle that you can carry with you everywhere. This could easily be your next portrait, wildlife, travel, sport lens, even walk around street lens if you don't mind a little bit of length on the front of your camera. It's certainly light enough, but it doesn't have that look that says, "Hey everybody, look at me, I'm a pro." So yeah, I don't know what more to say. 70-300. Yeah, highly recommended. Happy summer, that's it. If you are a Fuji shooter, you'll definitely want to check out my best-selling ebook, X Series Unlimited. It's over 400 pages of rock-solid tips and useful information that'll help you get the best performance and the most fun with your Fuji. It's basically the missing manual to the X Series cameras. And again, please subscribe to my channel, ring the bell, leave me a comment. You can find me on Patreon and social media at Dan Bailey Photo. You can visit my website and blog as well. So thanks very much for watching. Have fun with your cameras out there, and I'll see you next time.